Hi, Assalamualaikum. In today's presentation of CSC126 group project, we will introduce to you about our program which we call Smart Stock Counter System. Now I would like to introduce to my fellow members, which is Iqbal Nur Zaim and Syahmi Zaim, Razin Izzuddin, and me myself, Ahmad Syahmi. So, in today's agenda, we will cover 6 elements, which are the project summary, where we will give you the brief and general idea of what our presentation and our program is about. And secondly, the project objectives, which is to give you the insight of what we are trying to achieve or solve. And third one being analysis, which will be covered into 3 elements, which are input, process, and output of our program. And the next one is the design algorithm, where we will interpret our program into flowchart and pseudocode version. And we will present to you our source code and samples of output. So, for our project summary, the Smart Stock Counter System, which is the name of our program, is a user-friendly inventory management tool designed for small to medium-sized retail businesses. So our project features a secure user identification system, a real-time stock check, dynamic stock management, and a detailed payment history for streamlined operation. So the system also tracks daily customer numbers, providing insights for business trend and marketing optimization. Additionally, it enables quick adjustment to stock prices, allowing businesses to adapt to market changes. Overall, it is an essential tool for businesses prioritizing accuracy, efficiency, and adaptability in their inventory management.
Hi, my name is Iqbal, and I'll be explaining about the project objectives and the analysis. So, for the project objectives, number one, the ID verification. Second, the main menu. Third, inventory, update stock, and checkout. And last but not least, receipt, number of customer, list of available stocks, membership status, price, discounted price, products, and quantity purchased. Continuing with the analysis, for the input, we have ID, main menu selection, product selection to update, product quantity to update, membership status, product selection to buy, and lastly, product quantity to buy. And then, for the process, we have price calculation, discounted price calculation, customer counting calculation, and stock update calculation. For the output, we have ID verification, main menu, stock menu, inventory, update stock menu, checkout menu, number of customer, membership status, list of available stock, price, discounted price, products, and quantity purchased.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syahmi Zaim. Today I'll be explaining about the algorithm of the program. So we will first start with the pseudocode of the main function. Here is the pseudocode of the main function, and I'll be explaining in more detail when we get to the flowchart of the. Okay, next, this is the ID num function. So basically ID num function is to let user verify the identification and enable them to enter the main menu of the program. Next, we have stock check function. So stock check function is to let the user take a look at how many stocks are available. Okay, so goods 0 is kek batik, goods 1 is kek tapak kuda, goods 2 is ice cream, and goods 3 is tart. So whenever the user select stock check function, they can see all of these products with all of the remaining number of the product available in the stock. Okay, next is the stock function. So stock function is basically to let the user update the stock. Okay, so in this function, it will read goods num, which is what product they are selecting. Okay, and then it will also read the quantity, and they will take these two variables to calculate the new number of available stocks in the system. Okay, next we have checkout function. So checkout function is basically to let the user enter whatever the customer buy or trying to check out. Okay, and then the function will calculate everything and display it in a form of receipt. Okay, next we have the pseudocode of the value function. So basically this function is just to set the price per product of the product. Okay, now let's take a look at the flowchart that we have in this program. So the first flowchart that we have is the flowchart of the main function. Alright, so after the program had started, it will immediately call the id num function. Okay, and then after the user had done with the id num function, it will go back to the main menu and display three selection. Okay, the first selection is stock, the number 2 is checkout, and number 3 is logout. So based on this selection, if the user enter case 1, the program will display another menu consists of inventory and stock update. So if the user selected the inventory, then the program will call the stock check function. Okay, after they had done with the stock check function, then it will go back to the main menu and prompt the user to select the main menu choice. If the main menu choice is true, then it will go back to the main menu. If not, then the program will break and end. Alright, so if let's say in the inventory and stock update menu, the user selects stock update. So if in that case, the program will call for the stock function. Okay, after they had done with the stock function, it will go back to the main menu and the program will prompt the main menu selection. Okay, if the main menu selection is true, then the program will display the main menu again. But if it is false, then the program will break and end. Alright, so in the main menu, if the user enter case number 3, okay, case 3, then the program will return 0 and exit the program, as that is the logout menu. Alright, and if the user enter any other cases other than 1, 2, and 3, then the program will display invalid menu selection, exiting the program, and the program will end. Okay, now let's take a look at the flowchart of the id num function. Okay, so when the function started, it will read the id that had been entered by the user. Okay, so if the id met the condition of the while condition in this diamond box right here, okay, it will go to the if selection control. But if it is false, then it will immediately display your id is invalid, please enter the correct id, and prompt the user to enter the id again. Okay, so now let's take a look at the if selection control. If the id is 2022614848, then it will display welcome Razin. But if it is false, it will go to the next if. Okay, so if id is 2022458262, then the program will display welcome Syahmi. Okay, but if it is false, then it will go to the next if. Okay, so if id is 2022616836, then it will display welcome Iqbal. But if it is false, then it will go to the next if, which is if id is 2022838416, then it will display welcome Zaim. Okay, so after one of these if is met, okay, the condition is met, then it will display the welcome message. Okay, the function will end. Okay, now let's take a look at the flowchart of the stock chart function. So when this function started, it will immediately display all of the products with its remaining number of available stocks. So the process of calculation is in another function, but it will be displayed here as well, as it is called to be displayed in this function. Okay, now let's take a look at the flowchart of the stock function. Okay, so when this function started, it will read goods num and it will read quantity. So goods num is for what product the user want to select, and quantity is for how many product they want to add or remove from the available stocks. Okay, so goods num will enter a if selection control. If goods num equals to 0 or goods num is less than or equals to 3, then it will enter another if selection control. But if this condition is false, it does not met. Okay, Then the program will display invalid product selection. Please enter a value between 0 and 3 and prompt the user to enter the selection again. Okay, so like I said earlier, if the condition is met, then it will enter another if selection control. So if goods num is 0, then the calculation will be goods 0 plus equals to quantity, and then the program will display cake butter is now and call for the goods 0 value. So after this process, the program will prompt the user to enter a code. This code is to determine whether the user want to continue with the process or if they want to end this function and go back to the main menu. So based on that selection, this function will end or this function will be continue used by the user. Okay, now let's take a look at the flowchart of the checkout function. So when this function has started, it will read the member status of the user. So if member is equals to Y, then the calculation is new sum equals to sum times 0.05. Okay, if this condition is not met, then the new sum will equal to 0. Okay, and then the program will read the product, and then it will read the quantity, and then it will calculate the price using the function value product price per product. Okay, and then it will calculate total price using the formula total price equals to prices times quantity, and then it will also calculate the goods using the formula goods minus equals to quantity. Alright, and then it will enter the connector here. Okay, and then the process will continue in this B connector that I'll be explaining in a minute. Okay, so after the process had been done, the program will then prompt the user to enter a code to determine whether the user want to continue buying or if the user want to check out. So if the user want to continue buying, then the program will loop in the checkout function and then read the product, read the quantity, and all of that again. Okay, so if this condition is false, meaning the user want to check out, then the next process is to calculate the customer count using the formula count plus plus. Okay, and then the program will then calculate the final sum using the formula final sum equals to sum minus new sum, and then it will also calculate total sum using the formula total sum equals to final sum plus total sum, and then it will then calculate sum using the formula sum equals to sum plus total price, and then it will display the receipt, which is it will call for the value of count, goods 0, goods 1, goods 2, goods 3, member status, sum, final sum, quantity 0, quantity 1, quantity 2, quantity 3. These are all of the values that will be displayed in the receipt, and then the program will end. Alright, so let's take a look at the B connector. What are the process in the B connector, right? Okay, so in the B connector, it will read the prices. Okay, so after it read the prices will go into the if selection control. Okay, so if prices is more than or equals to 0 and prices is less than and equals to 20, then it will enter another if selection control. But if this condition is false, then it will read the prices again until the condition is met. Alright, so if this condition is true, it will enter another if selection control. So if prices equals to 5, then the calculation will be goods 0 equals to goods 0 minus equals to quantity, and then it will enter the B connector and go back to the initial B connector and then prompt the user to enter the code to determine whether the user want to continue buying or if the user want to check out. Okay, so if prices equals to 5 is false, meaning the condition is not met, then it will go to if prices equals to 10. Okay, so if prices equals to 10 is true, then it will calculate using the formula goods 1 equals to goods 1 minus equals to quantity, and then it will proceed with another calculation, which is quantity 1 plus equals to quantity, and then it will go back to the B connector and prompt the user to continue buying or to check out. Okay, so if this condition is false, then it will proceed with if prices equals to 15. If this condition is true, then it will calculate using formula goods to equals to goods to equals minus equal to quantity, and then it will proceed with another calculation, which is quantity 2 plus equals to quantity, and then it will go back to the B connector, and then it will prompt the user to continue buying or if they want to check out. Okay, and if else, the calculation will be good 3 equals to goods 3 minus equals quantity, and then we'll proceed with another calculation, which is quantity 3 plus equals to quantity, and then we'll go back to the B connector and then prompt the user again to determine whether the user want to continue buying or if they want to check out, and then the program will end the way that I explained earlier. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at the flowchart of value function. Okay, so this function is to set the price to the product. Alright, so the first thing that will be done in this function is to read the product, and then after the program read the product, it will enter the switch case control. Okay, so in this switch case control, if the case is A, then the price per product will be set to 5. Okay, if it is false, if it is case B, then the product will be set to 10, and then if this case is false, meaning the case is C, then the price per product will be set to 15. Okay, if this condition is also false and if the case is D, then the price per product will be 20. Okay, and after setting one price per product, it will end the function. But if the case is a default case, meaning that it is not A, it is not B, it is not C, and it is not D, then the program will display, please enter product correctly, and then it will go back to read the product until these conditions are met, meaning either A, B, C, and D.
So let's talk about the source code. First thing, we have the function that involved in this program, and next we see the main function. In this program, we see the ID number function for the ID verification, and then we see the main menu. This main menu asks the user about the stock, the checkout, or the login, logout. The user will give the input, and when the input is retrieved, the program will conduct the switch case. This is the ID number function. At this function, user will enter their corresponding ID to verify themselves before entering the program. And this is the stock check function, that where the function will give the user how much the inventory left for inside this program. This is the stock update function, where the user will update the stock based on user input, and then the data retrieved will be added into the array system. This is the checkout function, where we conducting checkout for in this program. The function will ask user if the customer have the membership or no. Then user will enter the product choice and its quantity, and then the price we calculated based on the price function. Then the product we calculated based on the price and its quantity. If the customer have the membership, then the sum of the product will be reduced by 5%. Then this is the receipt after user insert the 0 to exit the checkout. The receipt will show the number of customer, the list of the available stock, the membership status, the price, the discounted price, and the quantity purchased. It also show the total sum of the purchase is made. Lastly, this is the function for the price. Next, this is the output of the program that the user will enter the corresponding ID for ID verification. If the ID is correct, then user will enter the main menu. This is the inventory option where the user will get in the amount inventory of the product. This is the stock update option where we update the product, the quantity of the product after we enter the quantity of product. Then the new quantity will be displayed. This is the checkout option. The user will be asked about the membership status. Then the program will display the product option. User will enter the product choice with their quantity, and then the program will ask user again if they want to continue buying or to exit the checkout. For this slide, the user choose to continue buying and buy the another product. After checkout, the program will display the receipt of the purchase. It will display the number of customer, the list of available stock, the membership, the price, the discounted price, the quantity purchased, and the total sum. If we going back to the inventory section, the quantity of the product will be reduced.
Okay, so discussion and conclusion. In conclusion, the system used 3 libraries such as IOStream, IOMinib, and CSTDLIB. We also mainly using control structures including sequential, selection, and repetition. We also use predefined function, user-defined function, and loop in our system. The calculation processes were able to operate with no errors. With easy to understand input prompt, user will have no problems in handling the systems. At the end of the program, user will be able to see the inventory if they choose inventory. They are able to update the stocks if they choose update stocks, and receipt if they are on the checkout menu. So that is all from us. Thank you.